Okay, what we're looking at here is the latest iteration of my iPhone prototype. This is version 1.1, and what I've done here is I've actually gone in and tidied up a little bit of the patching, encapsulated a few of the data collecting devices into single patches, and made some audio connections so we can hear some sound and start to control some audio with the device. So let me explain what's happening here. First of all, we've got a drop zone here where we can drop files from a folder into. So in this case I've dropped sample files in. I'll just lock the patch so we can see it in action. So I've dropped the file into here and it's populated this drop down list, which gives me a whole series of samples. In this case they are drum samples and they are looped, so they'll just play continuously. Threw into a sound playing object here with a few different controls. Now at the moment those controls are not connected to the iPhone in any way, they're just simply there. So if I was wanting to play a sound, I would simply make sure that my audio is switched on, choose the sound and hit play. You can see that the sound is being shown here with these LED meters. And I can pause the sound, I can resume the sound, I can repeat the sound from the beginning, I can choose a new sound, control its volume here, and so on. Stop and start the sound there. So the first control that I have here is a panning control, and that panning control is connected directly to the iPhone, and so the iPhone's movement in a rotational basis is being tracked. So let's have a look at that. Here we are inside. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Here we are inside the patch where the data is streaming into Macs and being collected. We're looking here at this one here from the gyroscope application. We're looking at the matrix of rotation. As I rotate the iPhone, I'll leave it on the table, you'll see the values start to move there. So again, similar to the previous prototype, I'm scaling those values into a number that can be understood a little bit more simply, and so on. Haven't quite got the scaling exactly where I want it at the moment, but that's how I've got it to work. Close this down and you'll notice now that the panning parameter is moving there. Now if I select a sound, and I pan one side of the computer speakers to the other side. So the idea would be that the performer would have the ability to control that panning in a creative way. The next component there, you'll see on the iPhone a very simple interface. 2 buttons and a slider. This program is Touch OSC, which allows you to design an interface to send OSC data out of the phone, in this case be accepted by Macs. It's coming in here in the port UDP receive on port 8001 for those who need to know. And at the moment, if I press the first toggle button, you'll see that it is receiving information, second toggle button, and then third toggle, slider in this case. So if I simply make some connections here, I'll just go into edit mode. Let's connect the toggle button here to on off. Let's connect this button here over to start from the beginning, and let's take this scaled button here and connect it to the 2 outputs over here, should control the volume. So we'll lock the patch and we'll test that. Let's do the volume first. There's our volume control. Here is our start and stop, and here's our repeat. Turn the volume up a little bit. So the performer could control the volume of the patch, start and stop the initial sample, choose whichever sample they wish. Like so. Re-trigger the sample. So the concept would be to configure a user interface on the iPhone that could be used in combination with gyroscopic movements and rotations, positional data flowing from the phone, and the user can also have some button control. That's where the current iteration is currently up to. Some of the things to do, we'll need to look at smoothing out some of the data that's streaming in from the iPhone. It's still quite erratic, so that needs to be looked at ways in which we can most effectively do that. Add some longer samples to this audio example so that we can get some other controls happening with the streams that are coming from the iPhone. Connect up a simple recorder patch that I've made to see if we can record some of the data that's flowing in and then be able to play that data back, which I think would be a really interesting choreographic process for the students. And also have a look at a new release from the Cycling 74 people just today, looking at using the Mirror app, which was an iOS iPad only app, which is now available for a web based browser. So that could open up some really interesting possibilities for the design of the system.